Hi. This is a book called The True Story of Little Red Riding Hood as Told by a Woodsman by our own John Packer, illustrated by Madeline Isom and Amy Crawford. Starts off, you see, Wolf and I are best friends, practically family. Every week we get together to practice our hunting skills. We kind of make a game out of it. I go out into the forest and try to find Wolf like I'm hunting him. But of course I don't really hunt him, I just pretend. That's why I use blanks. This little game we play is a pact between the two of us. Nobody else knows. I mean, how would it look to see a wolf and a woodsman playing together? I'm sure you have all heard the story about Little Red Riding Hood and the incident with the wolf. Well, I happen to know that there's a lot more to the story than is written in books because I was there. Anyway, here's the real story. After giving the wolf his usual head start, I took off into the woods. I searched for him all morning, but I just couldn't find him. It was well in the afternoon, and I was about to give up when I heard a girl scream, "Ah!" With a big winning smile on my face, I strutted confidently to the nearby cottage from whence the scream had come. The wolf's cover was blown. I threw open the door, and there stood Red Riding Hood with her hands on her hips. "What's the matter, miss?" I asked in my best mad huntsman tone. I noticed a pretty furry-looking grandmother in a nightgown grinning at me from the bed in the corner. Red Riding Hood glared at me and then pointed to the bed. "What do you think? Get him!" At that moment, the closet door flew open, and a much less hairy grandma groped her way blindly across the room into Red's arms. I took aim at the wolf and shot. Blanks, of course. "You varmint, take that." The wolf spun dramatically as though he was hit. He put on quite a show of dying, and then dropped to the floor. With a proud face, I marched over to him, took off the nightgown, and carried him away into the forest. When Wolf and I were far enough away from the cottage, I put him down on the ground and we both burst out laughing. Wolf chuckled. "That was so funny. I can't believe Red Riding Hood ruined my cover." I replied, "I know, I looked for you all day and was ready to give up until I heard her scream." Wolf continued, "Oh man, when I got to the cottage, Grandma was trying to find her glasses. Before she could figure out who I was, she blindly wandered into the closet and got herself locked in. So I put on her nightgown, hoping to disguise myself from you. That's when Red came through the door and ruined everything." We both laughed again and complimented each other on what a good job we did. We agreed this must have been the awesomest hunt we had ever been on. The next morning, Wolf picked up the newspaper and read Little Red Riding Hood's version of what had happened. He couldn't believe his eyes. Extra, extra, read all about it. The big bad wolf tries to eat Red. Sadly, all of the townspeople believed every word of Red's story. My poor best friend Wolf had no other choice but to leave town. Now he lives on the other side of the mountain near these 3 annoying pigs. All night long the pigs play their flutes and dance to the tune, "Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf?" Wolf just rolls his eyes and slaps his paws to his face and glumly huffs and puffs. The end.